Welcome back to another episode of the Couch Coverage. Today we're going to be talking about Thursday night's game. That's right, the first game of the NFL season. Philadelphia at the Dallas Cowboys. We got Jarrell, Shane, Kevin, and me, myself, Zach here. We're all just going to be basically going through it, talking about what we expect out of this game, expecting the winners. So to start that off with, Jarrell, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think will win in this Thursday night matchup? Cowboys at Philly.
Cowboys at Philly. Man, I don't know how I can't choose Philly. Super Bowl winners last season coming in. Dallas has a deflated defense. They just lost Michael Parsons to us, Kins and Lamb, but I just don't think they have enough in the tank.
Kevin, what do you think? Who do you have winning? Who do you have winning Thursday night? We're actually recording this Monday. Who do you have winning Thursday night? Cowboys at Philly.
I want to say Cowboys so bad, but I know Eagles are gonna win. It's home turf, They're not gonna lose. They're Super Bowl champions. They're not gonna lose. Yeah, they're gonna pull everything out. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Shane, I'll toss it over to you. Who do you think is gonna win this Thursday for the first game of the season? Who do you think is gonna win?
Yeah, I think this week one matchup between the Cowboys and Eagles, with everything we're going to get into, the quick answer is I do believe the Eagles will win this game. It's going to be anticipated, obviously, because of all the hype of, Micah Parsons leaving. But I think Eagles going to be too strong. And with that loss and things we're going to discuss more here. And I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay, and then obviously now it's my turn. I'm obviously going to go ahead and pick Philly. A little bias here, but we're not losing the first game. We just came off of a Super Bowl. We're pretty healthy. We have everyone coming back. We're really only weak in one position, which we'll talk about here soon. But just imagine the Cowboys, your division rival, Philadelphia Eagles, winning the Super Bowl, and you got to come in and you got to watch them raise that banner right before the game. Right before the game, you got to watch them raise that Super Bowl banner. I do not see Philly coming in and taking a loss to start the season off at the home stadium, at the big link. No, Philly is taking this dub all day. Now, with that being said, because the odds did change on sports betting, it was a little bit closer. It still wasn't that close, but they drastically changed where Cowboys are like plus 300 or something like that. Do you guys think that was probably from the loss of Micah Parsons?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
for sure.
You think he made that big of an impact where it would change the – because, it was probably – the Cowboys were probably close to like plus 200, and now they're, plus 300. That's pretty far off. That's basically saying you're going to lose by a lot there.
Yeah, I think it's tough if you're going in against the reigning Super Bowl champions. One of the things you want is your defense to be healthy. All the players be there, so you have the best chance. Because we do know the Cowboys have offensive power and they can try to keep up with the score and so on. But the way that the Eagles play their game is they eat up clock, they run the ball, they pass, they get first downs. If it's a short, they do the tush push, so they're one of those type of teams that can wear you down. So trying to get into a shootout is hard because you may not have the opportunity. So I think when you lose such a big part of your defense there with Micah Parsons, I think that, the people putting the bets out and the odds are going to definitely take that into consideration.
Yeah, before anyone else talks here, I just did look it up. So it does look like Philly is actually minus 400 to win here, not negative, minus 400 to win here on this game, where the Cowboys are plus 300 as the underdogs, and it's actually a 7.5 point for like the differential, which technically it's not. It's technically a one-score game. That is 8 points. You could still technically get 8 points off of one drive, but realistically, a lot of teams are kicking the field goal, the extra point, so that would make it 7. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it's going to take a lot for Dallas, and I don't think that Dallas has, really running game. I think that's going to be a big issue, especially with Eagles D-line. We have a great D-line. So you're going to be passing the ball a lot, and I don't think, even with the addition of George Pickens and CeeDee Lambs being thrown out there with Dak Prescott finally back, I don't think it's going to be enough. And, losing Micah Parsons was a huge stab. They really, really need to keep him. I think that was a big loss, and I think it's going to show first game.
Yeah, if you want to ask me, my opinion on what's going to be interesting, if the Cowboys have any chance to win this game, Kenny Clark has to step up. I don't know how much he's going to be involved with the team. That will help. They're going to definitely have to get first downs. So they're going to have to definitely get the points going. Offense is going to really have to drive this because there's already some weaknesses outside of Micah Parsons on the Cowboys. And part of it was where Kenny Clark came in to try to help. But I do believe they're going to have to not fall behind. They're going to have to get the Eagles trying to get out of their game plan where they're not able to just run and do what they typically do. That's about the only chance. But being that Eagles are at home, and I think they're on an 11-game home winning streak right now against the NFC East opponents, too. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't think they can do it.
Now, do you think anyone here, if Micah Parsons never got traded, like say earlier this week instead of that trade, they came out and they were like, hey, we just signed Micah Parsons. We extended him. We gave him his money. He's staying as the Cowboy. He'll be playing week 1. Would that change any of your guys' minds? Would any of you would have been like, you know what, I'm going to roll with the Cowboys this week? Or do you think that Micah Parsons there or not, they were losing no matter what? Or
I would roll with the Cowboys. I would take a chance with him if he was still there, personally.
Not me. It would have been a closer game, but no, I don't think their offense is just too good.
Okay.
I think it would have been more, like you said, Jarrell said, I think there would have been a better chance for them to just sneak up on them because this is the time to do it. You know, sneak up in the beginning of the season where the starters really haven't played a lot, you know, and the Eagles may be a little rusty, you know, but again, they playing later on in the season may be totally different. But I think that, you know, don't you think it's a little bit of a heartbreak for the Cowboys too? Losing that kind of heart of their defense and trying to come in against the Super Bowl champs, the division rival. I don't know if they're going to have the ability to, you know, to have the heart in the game.
Yeah, and they've already shown they're very frustrated with it. I've seen many players of the team, Cavante Turpin, CeeDee Lamb, and I believe there was a defensive guy that I want to say Trevon Diggs, but I don't want to misquote that. That all went to Instagram or social media or whatever, and you know showed their frustration. So obviously, there's going to be a little bit, you know, the relationship in that locker room is going to be a little, you know, a little bent there.
That chemistry. Yeah. Do you think Jerry Jones goes down there and like starts for the Cowboys?
He'll go in himself.
He'll go out there himself and do it.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, you hear any update on Trevon Diggs just before we wrap this up? I mean, he's playing right now. I know he's, you know, he was coming back from a injury and stuff too, and I know their starting left tackle had some injuries there on the Cowboys. So those kind of things worry me too, you know.
Yeah, and then even to talk about, I won't go into it too much because we're going to be talking about this in another video, but the Eagles' defensive backs are a little bit light right now, more like the corner 2 position. We do have Adoree Jackson there right now, and he's, you know, he showed what he can do in preseason, and if I'm being honest, it's not really that great. So I am looking for him to step up a little bit. But other than that, if you literally look at every position that the Eagles have, I think that we kind of clean sweep them. Like there's not really a position that the Cowboys that you could say are better in at the moment. So the only one that would be debatable to me is maybe the receiving corps. You know, that's up to you guys who you guys think is better there. Obviously, I'm gonna be a little biased again. I still think Philly probably leads them in that category. But even if you want to give them the edge, that's fine. Every single one, quarterback, all the other stuff, I'm pretty sure I'd rather take anything of Eagles. So. Yeah. Before we do move on here, though, before we go ahead and we talk about something else, what do you guys think the score will be? And if you guys can't maybe pull off a score on your head, how much do you think, since everyone here thinks the Eagles win, how much do you think they will win by? Like, what's the margin, do you think? If you can't really pull up a score, because I know that's kind of hard.
I'm going to say 24-14. You guys win.
24-14.
Win by 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
24-14. Okay.
I don't see how George Pickens and Lamb both don't get in the end zone, so I'm going to say they at least score twice.
Okay.
No, I think it's going to be a little bit – I think it's going to be like 32-14.
I'll say 31 because I think 31 is a little bit more of a realistic number unless we go for the 2, you know, because, you know, with 24, that's 3 touchdowns and a field goal, right? That'd be 24. So I'll go ahead and say 31 because that's, you know, adding 7 there. 31-14, I think, is probably what I would go to because I do think Dallas will score a few times. I mean, they do have a good offense. They do, especially in the pass game, at least. I do think they will get into the end zone. It's just not as much as Philly.
Who do you think is getting in the end zone for Philly? Just out of curiosity.
Again, I won't go too deep into it, but if I had to guess those exact 2 touchdowns, I'm going to say George Pickens and Tyler Ferguson.
No, for Philly.
Oh, for Philly. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Jalen Hurts feels like a lock. I mean, we're tush pushing no matter what. That's getting in the end zone. I would probably still give Saquon. So Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and then we'll probably have somebody like random, like Dallas Goedert or something like that. And then another easy one I'd give off.
AJ?
Either one of AJ or Smitty. I think one of the receivers will score, but not both. I think
Okay.
one of them. It just depends what the situation is, and it depends what corners they got. And if they got both Trevon Diggs and Devontae Smith in, you know, that's going to help them a lot more. If, you know, Trevon Diggs is not playing, or vice versa, Darren Bland isn't, then I think that, you know, we might just be scoring through the pass game all
Best of
day.
luck in Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I'll lock that in.
Yes.
I'll lock that in right now. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's probably like minus like 200 though. You know, so you're definitely not getting a lot of money back.
Hey man, that's all right.
Hey, he said he
Take your
wins his
time.
bet. That's all that matters.
That's right. Hey, as long
Yeah.
as you come out positive, who cares? I'm not. You
Heck
know,
yeah.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not judging.
One time
All right,
I won a bet and I lost 5 cents. Kind of crazy.
Okay.
You must do one of those bonus
What?
bets.
Yo, you need to stop betting if that's the case. you need to reevaluate. But all right, would anybody else like to say anything else before we wrap up this topic and we go ahead and end this? Cowboys, Eagles.
I'm good.
Pretty
Hey,
easy
NFL is
walk.
here, man. NFL is here. I'm excited. Fantasy, all that. Let's get it.
Woo-woo.
It'd be a
All right,
crazy
guys.
upset though.
Oh, what?
It'd be a crazy upset if
It would be a crazy
Cowboys.
upset.
Oh, I
Be the
thought he was.
craziest one yet.
I thought he was
thought he
throwing
was
in the
changing
last
his
minute
pick.
jab. Yeah.
Right?
No, I think Eagles are gonna win.
All right. You heard it here from the couch coverage. All 4 of us got Philly. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.
That's it.